Okay,
Okay,
if I asked
if I
about the
ask,
early. So, we've been
so we've
talking
been
about
talking about
nutrients,
nutrients,
the
the
elements in the
elements in
environment
the
that are
environment that
essential
are
for living
essential for living
organisms to
organisms to
develop,
develop,
live a healthy life,
live a
and
healthy life, and
reproduce.
reproduce.
Some
Some
nutrients are quite
nutrients are
scarce.
quite
There just
scarce,
isn't
and
much of
just
them in the
isn't much of
environment,
them in the
but
environment, but
fortunately they get
fortunately they
recycled.
get
When
recycled.
nutrients are used
When
over and
nutrients
over in
are
the
over
environment,
in the
we call
environment, we
that a
call that a
nutrient
nutrient
cycle.
cycle.
Because of the
Because of the
importance of
importance of
nutrients and their
nutrients and their
scarcity,
scarcity,
nutrient
nutrients
recycling is one of the
recycling
most
is one of the
significant
most
ecosystem
significant
processes that we'll
processes that
cover
we
in this
cover in
course.
this course.
The three most
The three most
important nutrient
important nutrient
cycles are the
cycle are
nitrogen
the
cycle,
nitrogen
the
cycle,
carbon
the carbon
cycle,
cycle,
and the one we're going
and
to
the
talk
one
about
we will
today,
talk
the
about today,
phosphorus
the
cycle.
phosphorus cycle.
So, the
The
phosphorus cycle has been
phosphorus
studied a
cycle has
lot
been
by
studied a lot
ecologists
by
because,
ecology
like I
because, like
said,
I said,
phosphorus is an
phosphorus
important
is an
nutrient,
important
and it's
nutrient
not
and
so
it's not
abundant.
abundant.
The
The
largest
largest
quantities are found in
quantities are
rocks
found
and
in
at the
rocks
bottom of
and at
the
the
ocean.
bottom of the ocean.
How does
How
phosphorus
does the
get there?
phosphorus get there?
Well, let's start
Well,
with the
let's start
phosphorus
with
in
the phosphorus
rocks.
in rocks.
The rocks
The
get
rocks
broken
get
down into
broken down
smaller
into
and smaller
smaller and smaller
particles as they're
particles
weathered.
as they weather.
They're weathered slowly
The
by
weather
rain
is
and
so
wind over long
wind over
periods of
longer
time.
periods of time.
Phosphorus is
Phosphorus
slowly
is
released as the
slowly
rocks
released
are
as the
broken
rocks are
down,
broken
and it
down
gets spread
and it
around
gets
into the
spread
soil.
around into the soil.
Once it's in the
Once it's
soil,
in the
plants
soil, the
absorb it
plants
through their
absorb it
roots.
through their roots.
So that's the
So
reason
that's
people
the
mine
reason
rocks
people
that
mine
contain a lot of
rocks that
phosphorus
contain rocks
to help
and
with
phosphorus to
agriculture.
help with agriculture.
They mine the
They
rock,
mine rock
artificially break it
artificially
down, and
break
put
it
the
down and
phosphorus
put
into
the phosphorus
agricultural
into agricultural
fertilizers.
fertilizers.
So
So
humans can play
humans
a
can
role in the
play a
first
role
part
in
of the
the first
phosphorus
part of the
cycle,
phosphorus
the
cycle,
breaking
the
down of
breaking
rocks and
down
the
of
spreading of
rocks and
phosphorus into
spreading
the
the phosphorus
soil
into the
by
soil by
speeding up the
speeding up
rate
the
at which
rate
this
at which
natural
the
process
natural process
occurs. You see?
occurs.
Now,
You see?
after the phosphorus is
After
in
the
the soil,
phosphorus is in the
plants
soil,
grow.
plants
They
grow.
use
They
phosphorus
use
from
the
the soil
phosphorus
to
from the
grow.
soil to grow.
And when they
And when
die,
they die,
they
they
decompose. And the
decompose.
phosphorus is
The
recycled
phosphorus.
back into the soil. Same thing with the
Same thing
animals
with
that eat
the
those
animals,
plants,
those plants.
or
They
eat
were
other animals that have eaten those plants. We call all
We
of
call
this
all
the
of this
land
the round
phase of the
phases
phosphorus cycle.
of this phosphorus cycle.
But a
But
lot of
a
the
lot
phosphorus
of
in the
phosphorus
soil
in the
gets
soil
washed
gets
away
washed
into rivers
away
by
into the
rain
river
and
by
melting
rain
snow.
and melting snow.
And so
And
begins
so
another
is
phase of the cycle.
the cycle.
Can anyone guess
Can
what
you
it's
guess
called,
what it's called,
Nancy?
Nancy?
Well, if the one
If
is called the
one is
land
called the
phase,
round
then
phase,
this has to be
then
called the
this
water
has to
phase,
be
right?
called water phase,
Yes.
right?
That's
Yes,
such a
that's
difficult
such a
point, isn't it?
difficult point, isn't it?
In a normal
In a
water
normal
phase,
water phase,
rivers
the river
eventually empty into
eventually
oceans,
empties into
and once
oceans,
in
and
the
once in
oceans,
the
the
oceans,
phosphorus gets
the
absorbed
phosphorus
by water
gets
plants,
absorbed
like
by
algae.
by algae.
Then fish
And the
eat the
fish
algae,
use the
or
algae,
eat
or
other
eat
fish
other
that have
fish
eaten
that
those
they have
plants.
eaten those plants.
But the water
But
phase
the
is
water
sometimes
phase is
affected by
sometimes affected
excessive
by excessive
fertilizers.
fertilizers.
If not all of
If
the
not all
phosphorus
of the
gets
phosphorus
used by the
gets used by
crops, and
crops,
large amounts
and
of
large
phosphorus
amounts of
gets into the
phosphorus gets
rivers,
in the river,
this could
this
cause
could
rapid
cause
growth of
rapid
water
growth of
plants in
the
the
water
river,
plants to the
which
river,
can lead to
which
the
can lead the
waterways getting
waterways to
clogged with
clogged,
organisms, which can change
and
the
can
flow of the
change the
water.
flow of the water.
Several current
Several
studies are
current
looking
studies
at
are
these
looking
effects,
at
and I
effects,
really
and
do
I
hope we
really
can
do
find a
hope
way
we
to
can
deal
find
with
a
this
way
issue
to deal
before these
with this
ecosystems are adversely affected.
adversely affected.
Okay?
Okay?
Of course,
Of
another
course,
way that
another
humans
way
can
that
interrupt the
human can
normal
interrupt the
process
normal
is
process
fishing.
is the fishing.
The fishing
The
industry
fishing
helps
industry
bring
helps to
phosphorus
bring
back to
phosphorus
land.
back to land.
In the normal
In the
water
normal
phase, the
water
remaining
phase, the
phosphorus
remaining
makes its
phosphorus
way,
makes its way,
settles to the
settles
bottom
to
of the
bottom of
ocean,
the ocean,
and gets
and get
mixed into
mixed
ocean
into the
sediments.
sediments.
But remember,
But
this is a
remember, this is
cycle.
a cycle.
The
The
phosphorus at the
phosphorus
bottom
at
of
the
the
bottom
ocean
of the
has to
ocean has
somehow
to
make its
somehow
way
make
back
its
to the
way back to
surface
the
to
surface
complete the
to
cycle,
complete the
to begin the
cycle, to
cycle all
begin the
over
cycle
again.
all over again.
After millions
After
of years,
millions of
powerful
years, powerful
geological
geological
forces like
forces like
underwater
underwater
volcanoes
volcano
lift up the
lift up
ocean
the ocean
sediments to form
sediments.
new land. When an
When
underwater
an underwater
volcano pushes
volcano pushes
submerged rock to
submerged
the
rocks to
surface,
the
a
surface,
new
a new
island is
island is
created.
created.
Then, over
Then,
many
over
more
many
years, the
years, the
phosphorus-rich rocks of the
rock
new
and the new
land
land
begin to
begin to
erode,
erode,
and the cycle
and the
continues.
cycle
What
continues.
about,
What about,
well, you said that
well,
the
you said
nitrogen
that the
cycle is
nitrogen
also an
cycle is
important
also
nutrient
important
cycle,
nutrient cycle,
and there's a lot of
and
nitrogen in the
there is also
atmosphere,
an
so I was
so I
wondering,
Is there a lot of phosphorus in the atmosphere too?
Good question, George.
Good question, George.
You're right to guess that phosphorus can end up in Earth's atmosphere. It can move from the land or from the oceans to the atmosphere, and vice versa. However, there's just not a substantial amount of it there, like there is with nitrogen. It's a very minimal quantity.
Least thing you can remember.